Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a wide fishtail bracelet. The fishtail weave is pretty popular in the paracording world, but a lot of people don't know that there's a wider version using a 4-strand core. So all you're going to need for this project, it's pretty simple, is some paracord, a 1/2-inch buckle, and then our scissors and a lighter for tools. Let's dive in. As always, we'll start by folding our paracord in half. So we'll line up our ends and follow that back to the other side. Then we're going to push that down through one side of our buckle and attach it using a cow hitch. So that just means we'll pull our buckle through the loop. We'll follow our cord down to the other side without getting them tangled and put our cord down through that side of the buckle as well. We'll pull it down to roughly a bracelet size. And then we want to start with both of our working ends coming through the middle. So we've got our bracelet here with the other cords coming out like that. I'm going to start on the right side and cross it over to the outside there. We'll find our end and bring it up through the buckle. Tighten that down until we have a little loop, and then put our cord through that loop. And tighten it down the rest of the way. Other side, same thing. Cross your cord over to the outside. Put the end up through the buckle. It gets a little bit tight with our 4 cords, but they should lay side by side still. And put our end down through the hole again. Should look like this when you're done. Now we'll get our bracelet down to the right size, so I'm going to detach my buckle. My wrist is 7.5 inches around, and so I'm going to make a bracelet that's 8.5 inches long, just to account for the thickness of the bracelet. So I'm going to measure it out here. We want to measure from the base of the teeth on the buckle to the furthest end of the other side of the buckle. Before you move on, you want to get the twists out of your cord, because I've had bracelets that kind of twist and don't sit right when I have twists in my core strands. All right, once you've got them both tightened down and your core strands are the same length, we're almost done setting up the core. I'm going to bring our cords back to the tooth end of the buckle here, and just like you're used to with 2-strand core bracelets, we want to put the ends through the top of the buckle. We'll just do them on either side of this cow hitch here. All right, so should look like this in the end. I've got to hold the cords tight or it doesn't sit flat yet. But it should look about like that. Okay, so now to begin our fishtail, it's just like normal, except that we're going to be splitting our core strands right down the middle like this, so we have 2 on each side. I'm going to start with my right side and bring it over to the left side. So over those first 2 core strands, you want to make sure that these don't get twisted around each other. And then underneath the other 2. And until we get a couple knots on here, it's going to look like our core strands are just kind of all over the place. But once we get that going, it's going to settle down a bit. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the right side cord. Over the first 2, under the second 2. All right, and then kind of tighten that to where it needs to be. Again, after you make a couple of these knots, you're going to want to make sure that your core strands are the right length. All right, so then I'm actually going to take the right side again, that same cord that I just used, and bring it back over to the left. There's a couple different orders that you can do these steps in, but I like to keep 2 strands on the same side when I'm weaving a fishtail. So you'll see our cords aren't all tightened down, so I'll kind of feed them through at this point. So it's all nice and even, so we're off to a good start. All right, looks good. Let's keep on going. So we'll want to take that top cord each time over the first two, underneath the second, and then around to the top, over those first two, underneath the second two. And we'll just repeat that pattern until we get to the end of the bracelet. All right, so we got to the end here, and I'm just going to leave this one on the right side without taking it back to the left. And then with this one, I'm just going to bring it down through the middle one more time. You might need to melt the end or even use a fid. I can usually push back the weave just enough to squeeze that through. So then in the end, we have two side by side like this. So there's our wide fishtail bracelet all done. I know a lot of creators use this weave to allow more room for weaving with 95 cord or microcord. You can just fit a lot more of a design in there than with the normal fishtail. And I guess I'll give you another update on the hat. No progress has been made. Been kind of not eager to get back to it. This loom wasn't designed for paracord. It's a little tough on the fingers, and you gotta kind of like twist it as you go along. It's gonna get done, I can guarantee that, although on YouTube maybe I shouldn't say that. But yeah, we'll come back to that later. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. We'll put links in the description for where you can buy paracord and paracord hardware. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.